The War of Shadows by Johnson Davies. Chapter 1. Ghost of 100 Wars. Anywhere in the galaxy where old soldiers go to drink, someone claims to have served under Adriana Frost. They speak her name like a spell or a warning. The human specter, the war witch, the commander who never lost a battle, she only left behind scorched planets and shattered regimes. In the ash fields of Tirelon Prime, 100 alien corpses smolder beneath a violet sky. Adriana stands at the edge of the battlefield, her armor cracked, her pulse steady. The colony is safe. The invaders are dead. Her contract is complete. She removes her helmet. Her face is lined, not with age, but with memory. Scars of 100 campaigns, eyes like twin blades, sharp, unreadable. Her ship, the Picket, descends through the haze, a sleek predator of black alloy and silent engines. The ramp lowers. Adriana boards without ceremony. Inside, her AI assistant Ulysses greets her with a dry tone. Mission accomplished. Casualties, minimal. Payment, transferred. Incoming offers, 2. Adriana raises an eyebrow. 2? From the Alari Empire, Ulysses replies. Both princes. Both want you to lead their armies. She leans against the console, unstrapping her gauntlets. The Alari king died? Correct. His twin sons now rule half the empire each. 1,000 worlds split down the middle. They're preparing for war. Adriana exhales slowly. And they both want me. Desperately. She walks to the viewport. The stars stretch like scars across the void. She's seen empires rise and fall. She's helped both. But this smells like something else. Prepare full psychological profiles, she says. I want to know what makes these brothers tick, their fears, their flaws, their secrets. Ulysses hums. Already compiling. Shall I include their sister? Adriana pauses. Sister? Yes, Princess Mera, older than the twins. Different mother. Born of a giantess. Technically disqualified from succession. Adriana smiles faintly. Include her. She might be the only sane one in the palace. She turns from the stars. Set course for the Alari homeworld. Let's see what kind of throne these fools are willing to pay for. The Picket jumps to hyperspace, leaving behind the ruins of another war. Adriana Frost doesn't chase glory. She sells it. Chapter 2. The Fractured Crown. The Alari Empire was once a beacon of galactic unity, an alliance of 1,000 worlds bound by tradition, technology, and bloodline. But tradition has teeth, and bloodlines break. The king is dead. His twin sons, Rael and Sirek, were born seconds apart, raised together, trained together, and now they stand on opposite sides of a divided throne. The empire has been split with surgical precision. Rael rules the eastern systems, industrial, fortified, cold. Sirek commands the western stars, lush, populous, volatile. Even the royal palace bears the scar. A glowing border runs down its center, bisecting halls, gardens, and chambers. Guards from each faction patrol their half, eyes locked on their mirrored counterparts. Only one place remains untouched by division, the palace wing of Princess Mira. She is the eldest child. Towering at over 10 feet, her lineage traces back to the giantess clans of the Outer Rim. Her mother was not the queen, but a war bride, chosen for strength, not diplomacy. Mara's wing of the palace was built to her scale, vaulted ceilings, reinforced floors, and doors twice the standard height. She is neutral, by law, by blood, by choice. But neutrality is fragile. In the throne chamber, Rael and Sirek stand before the royal council, flanked by holographic banners and armored guards. Their voices clash like blades. She's mine, Rael growls. I sent the first offer. I have the credits. I have the cause. Sirek sneers. You have paranoia and rusted fleets. Frost will choose strength. She'll choose me. The council watches in silence. They are scholars, generals, and diplomats, but none dare interrupt the heirs. Then a third voice cuts through the tension. Enough! Mara enters, her presence commanding. Her robes shimmer with woven alloys. Her gaze is calm but unyielding. She will choose when she is ready, Mara says. Until then, she stays in my quarters. Neutral ground. Rael bristles. You have no authority. I have the only space in this palace not poisoned by your rivalry, she replies. And I have the height to throw you both out. Sirek chuckles. Rael fumes, but neither objects. Outside, the picket descends through the clouds. Adriana Frost has arrived. Chapter 3. Arrival at the Divide. The Alari homeworld, Tyrelia, is a jewel wrapped in tension. From orbit, its surface gleams with crystalline cities and sprawling bioluminescent forests, but beneath the beauty lies fracture. The Empire's 1,000 worlds watch this planet like a loaded weapon, waiting to see which twin will pull the trigger. Adriana Frost stands at the helm of the picket, arms folded, eyes narrowed. Status? She asks. Ulysses responds, voice crisp. Palace security is doubled. Each brother has deployed elite guards to their half. The border is active. Any unauthorized crossing triggers lethal response. Adriana smirks. Charming. Profiles complete, Ulysses continues. Rael, methodical, obsessed with legacy, distrustful of emotion. Sirek, impulsive, charismatic, driven by approval. Both are competent. Neither is stable. And the sister? Mara, educated in diplomacy, military theory, and ancient law. Respected but sidelined. Her wing of the palace is the only neutral zone. She's extended an invitation. Adriana nods. Take us in. The picket pierces the atmosphere like a blade. As it descends, palace sensors scramble to identify it. Both brothers issue simultaneous clearance codes, each claiming her. Adriana ignores them. She lands in the central courtyard, precisely on the borderline. Guards from both factions converge, weapons raised, protocols clashing. She steps down the ramp, unarmed, unbothered. I'm here to speak, she says, not to choose. Rael arrives first, his armor polished, his expression cold. You'll find my offer generous. My cause just. Sirek follows, his cloak billowing, his smile sharp. You'll find my war glorious. My victory inevitable. Adriana listens, watches, measures. Then Mara appears. She towers over them, regal and calm. Enough posturing, she says. Adriana, come. My quarters are ready. Adriana follows her through the palace, past mirrored guards and silent courtiers. The tension is palpable, like a storm waiting for permission to break. Inside Mara's wing, the air shifts. The ceilings rise, the walls breathe. It's a space built for someone who doesn't fit the mold. Adriana sets down her gear. They'll keep pushing. Mara pours a drink. Let them. You're safe here. Adriana studies her. You're not like them. No, Mara says. I was never meant to be. Outside, the Empire holds its breath. Inside, Adriana begins to plan. Chapter 4. The Giantess and the Ghost. Adriana Frost had slept in warships, bunkers, and alien ruins, but never in a palace built for giants. Mara's quarters were unlike anything else in the galaxy. Vaulted ceilings arched like cathedral spires, furniture carved from living stone, windows tall enough to frame entire constellations. Adriana sat on a couch designed for someone twice her size. Her boots barely touched the floor. She sipped a drink brewed from Alari root vine, bitter, smoky, ancient. Mara moved with quiet grace, her height no burden, her presence no threat. She wore robes of woven crystal and alloy, her hair braided with ceremonial rings. "You're not what I expected," Adriana said. Mara smiled. "Neither are you." They sat in silence for a moment, the kind that only warriors understand. Then Mara spoke. "I was born first," she said, "before Rael, before Sirek. My mother was a war bride from the Outer Rim, a giantess. She died in childbirth." Adriana listened. "The king loved her," Mara continued, "but tradition forbade her children from inheriting. When the twins were born, the court rejoiced. Two perfect heirs. I became a symbol, a relic. Too large for diplomacy, too alien for succession." Adriana leaned forward. "But you were trained." "Yes, in strategy, in law, in war. I've mediated planetary disputes, led peacekeeping missions. I've done everything a ruler should do, except rule." Adriana's gaze sharpened. "And now your brothers want to tear the empire apart." Mara nodded. "They were raised to compete, to conquer, to believe that only one can survive." Adriana stood and walked to the window. Outside, the palace shimmered with tension. Guards patrolled, courtiers whispered. The border glowed. "They both want me," Adriana said, "but they don't understand what I am." Mara joined her. "What are you?" Adriana turned. "A scalpel, not a sword. I don't win wars, I end them." Mara studied her. "And what do you want?" Adriana smiled. "To see what happens when the wrong person wins." They clinked glasses. In that moment, a bond was forged, not of politics or power, but of shared exile. The giantess and the ghost, both denied their rightful place, both ready to rewrite the rules. Chapter 5. The First Cut. War doesn't begin with a battle. It begins with a whisper. From the comfort of Mara's towering quarters, Adriana Frost launched her first strike, not with weapons, but with doubt. Ulysses hovered in holographic form, his interface flickering with data streams. "Shipment rerouted," he said. 20,000 plasma rifles, originally bound for Rail's eastern garrisons, now redirected to Sirek's forward base on Sarnis 4. Adriana nodded. "Make sure the crates still bear Rail's seal." "Done." She paced the room, boots echoing against alloy floors. "Next move." Ulysses brought up a new file. Sirek's agricultural scientists on Trelos Prime are developing a gas compound to accelerate crop growth. Harmless, beneficial. Adriana smirked. "Let's make it look like a nerve agent." She dictated a forged report, complete with falsified lab scans, intercepted communications, and a fabricated whistleblower testimony. Ulysses distributed it through encrypted channels, ensuring it reached Rail's intelligence network. Within hours, Rail ordered a full lockdown of Trelos Prime. His troops stormed the research facility. Sirek accused him of sabotage. Rail accused him of bioterrorism. The first cut had been made, and neither brother knew who held the knife. Back in Mara's quarters, Adriana watched the chaos unfold on a wall-sized display. Riots, accusations, emergency broadcasts. Mara entered, her expression unreadable. "You're escalating quickly." Adriana didn't look away. "They need to believe the threat is real, that it's coming from each other." Mara poured a drink. "You're very good at this." "I've had practice." She turned to face Mara. "They'll start doubling their guards, testing their food, suspecting their own advisors." "And when they do?" Adriana smiled. "We'll cut deeper." Outside, the Empire held its breath. Inside, the War of Shadows had begun. Chapter 6. Fuel to the Fire. The Alari Empire ran on fuel, fear, and faith. Adriana Frost targeted all three. From Mara's quarters, she orchestrated a campaign of quiet devastation. No armies, no explosions, just whispers, wires, and well-placed lies. Ulysses hovered beside her, his interface glowing with a dozen active operations. Fuel reserves, he said. Central depot on Varnis Station, 70% of the Empire's supply. Adriana leaned over the console. Sell it. To whom? Neighboring galaxy. The Trillari Combine. They'll pay in untraceable credits. Ulysses paused. And the proceeds? Route them to Rail's private account. Make it look like embezzlement. Do we get a kickback? Ulysses asked. Of course, we're not doing this for our health. Within days, Varnis Station reported a critical shortage. Starships stalled. Trade routes collapsed. Governors demanded answers. Rail denied everything. Sirek accused him of treason. Adriana watched it unfold like a symphony of suspicion. Next, she targeted the Empire's logistics. Send military fleets on phantom missions, she ordered. Coordinates that lead nowhere. Let them burn fuel chasing phantoms. Ulysses complied. Entire squadrons vanished into deep space, chasing fabricated threats. Commanders grew frustrated. Supplies dwindled. Then came the most brutal stroke. Issue false orders, Adriana said. Planetary governors to implement martial law. Starvation-level rations. Blame it on incoming attacks. Ulysses hesitated. That will cause riots. Adriana's voice was cold. That's the point. Across the Empire, cities erupted. Citizens clashed with soldiers. Food riots turned into insurrections. Local leaders began ignoring central commands. Rael and Sirek responded with panic. They quadrupled their personal guards, installed biometric locks on their chambers, hired food tasters, executed suspected spies. Mara watched it all unfold from her towering balcony. You're dismantling an empire, she said. Adriana didn't flinch. I'm giving it a choice. Mara turned to her. And when it chooses? Adriana smiled. It won't choose them. Outside, the 1,000 worlds of the Alari Empire trembled. Inside, the fire spread. Chapter 7. The Shadow War. The Alari Empire was bleeding from 1,000 cuts, and no one could find the blade. From Mara's quarters, neutral, towering, untouched, Adriana Frost waged her war in silence. No banners, no declarations, just confusion, paranoia, and collapse. Ulysses projected a map of the Empire. Red pulses marked unrest, yellow flashes marked lost fleets, black zones marked total silence. 73 planetary governors have declared emergency autonomy, he reported. 22 have ceased communication entirely. Fuel reserves are depleted, trade routes severed, military cohesion fractured. Adriana studied the map. And the princes? Rael has retreated to his war chamber. He's purged half his advisory council. Sirek has replaced his entire security detail twice in 3 days. Both suspect each other. Neither suspects you. She smiled. Good. Outside her window, the palace shimmered in artificial twilight. The border lines still glowed. But the guards were restless. Even the walls seemed to hum with unease. Mara entered, her expression unreadable. You've turned them into ghosts, she said. They speak only in whispers. They trust no one. Adriana nodded. They're isolated. That's when leaders fall. Mara approached the map. And what happens when the Empire realizes it no longer has leaders? Adriana turned to her. Then it looks for someone else. They stood in silence, watching the flickering lights of rebellion. Ulysses spoke again. There's chatter among the outer systems, rumors of a third option, a neutral figure, a forgotten heir. Mara's eyes widened. Me? Adriana nodded. They're remembering. Mera stepped back. I never asked for this. No, Adriana said, but you're the only one who didn't ask for power. That's why you deserve it. Outside, the thousand worlds stirred. Inside, the Shadow War reached its crescendo. Adriana Frost had broken empires before, but this time she was building something new. Chapter 8, Duel of the Heirs. The empire was collapsing, but the princes still believed in victory. Rael and Sirek, once inseparable, now refused to speak except through encrypted threats. Their armies no longer obeyed. Their advisors had fled or been executed. Their worlds were rioting. And yet, they clung to the throne like drowning men to a crown. Adriana Frost offered them a solution. A duel, she said. Just the two of you. No armies, no politics. A final contest broadcast across the empire. Winner takes the throne. Loser is forgotten. They hesitated, then agreed. The duel was set on a barren world, Karnus 9, a dead moon with limited atmosphere, no history, no allegiance. A neutral arena for a final reckoning. Armies from both factions arrived in silence. No banners, no cheers. Just armored witnesses watching from the sidelines. Mera came too. She rarely left the palace. But today she stood tall among the soldiers, her presence a quiet defiance of tradition. Adriana oversaw the preparations, laser-edged swords, combat suits calibrated to each prince's specifications, medical drones on standby, not to save, but to confirm death. She reviewed the psychological profiles one last time. Same instructors, Ulysses reminded her. Same training, same style. They'll mirror each other. Adriana nodded. That's the point. The duel began. Rael and Sirek circled each other, blades humming, eyes locked. Their movements were precise, practiced, identical. Strike, parry, feint, advance. The battle stretched into hours, sweat mixed with blood, armor cracked. Breathing grew ragged, but neither could gain the upper hand. They were too alike, too symmetrical. Adriana watched from the command platform, expression unreadable. Then, as if choreographed by fate, both princes lunged, blades flashing, hearts exposed. The strikes landed simultaneously. Two bodies collapsed, two legacies ended. Silence fell. The armies stared, leaderless, stunned. Adriana stepped forward, her voice amplified across the moon. The princes are dead, she said. All hail your new undisputed queen. She turned and pointed to Mera. The giantess stood tall, her eyes shining, her silence louder than any speech. For a moment, no one moved. Then a cheer erupted, first from the soldiers, then from orbit, then across the thousand worlds of the Alari Empire. All hail Queen Mera. The thousand worlds of the Alari Empire, fractured and burning, began to realign. Governors pledged loyalty, commanders offered their fleets, citizens lit ceremonial fires in her name. Mera accepted the throne with quiet grace. She did not gloat, she did not punish. She simply began to rebuild. And beside her, for a brief moment, stood the ghost who had made it possible. Chapter 9. The Mercenary's Farewell. Adriana Frost stood aboard the picket, watching the coronation from orbit. Ulysses flickered to life. Incoming transmission from Queen Mera. Adriana nodded. Put her through. Mera's voice was calm. The Empire's army is yours to command if you want it. Adriana smiled. I don't command the armies of empires. I dismantle them. A pause, then Mera said, You could stay. I could, Adriana replied, but I won't. She turned to the viewport. Beyond Terelia, another galaxy shimmered, another war, another client. Profits, she asked Ulysses. Ulysses chimed. Final earnings calculated. You can now afford that battle cruiser you've been eyeing, and perhaps a couple dreadnoughts to keep it company. Adriana laughed softly. Good. I like company. She strapped in. The engines hummed, the stars beckoned. As the picket jumped to hyperspace, the legend of Adriana Frost grew, not as a queen, not as a conqueror, but as the shadow behind the throne. Wherever old soldiers gather, they still whisper her name. And somewhere in the galaxy, another empire waits to be judged. The end. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Also, please hit the bell icon for notifications. Thank you.